as well as this one. Were we able to solve this one?
I think we did.
We did. We did or we didn't. Okay, so we did.
Yeah, because that was the curve that we used 52 degrees for. So, yeah.
Yes. Okay, thank you. So here now we'll go to the next one. The degree of arc. I think this is where we stop right here. So what is the degree of arc? So we said that there are two definitions, the highway and the rail definition. And when you're using the highway definition, we're talking about the 100 feet arc. So the central angle subtended by 100 feet of arc is your degree of curve. For rail, it's the 100 feet chord. So the angle subtended by 100 feet chord is the railway definition of degree of arc. And this is how you determine the degree of arc. So this is the degree of arc, D. And what you do is you divide them into sections, 100 feet sections. Now, you wanted to go first to the full station, and then next full station, and so on, until you reach the point of tangency. So then that is how the surveyor will lay out your horizontal curve. Now, the first angle here, which is the one or this one right here, is the angle is usually less than 100 feet or less than D. So you just try to find that one, and then the last angle, you try to find that last angle as well. So this is the angle which is less than D because the length of the arc is less than 100 feet. So now let's see how we can determine that one or the degree of curve. Now, given the horizontal curve to be designed on a highway with a speed of uh, 70 miles per hour, and then you're asked to determine the minimum radius of horizontal curve if E is 10%, and delta is given 30 degrees. Now you are asked to lay out the horizontal curve. So that's the number one. We wanted to lay out the horizontal curve. So first, we try to determine the minimum radius of horizontal curve. And you've done that so many times already. So at this point, uh, I think you should be able to calculate the minimum radius of horizontal curve. So how much is our minimum here? If you do it too many times, then it should be very easy for you next time to answer the minimum radius question. So what is our minimum? So who got the value of R minimum?
Professor,
Yes.
where do we get the friction coefficient if it's not given?
Table 3-9 of your textbook,
Thank you.
page 120, table 3.9. Fs is equal to 0.10 or 70 miles per hour. Who got the answer?
I don't know if this is right, but I got 3,234.
2,000?
No, 3,234.
3,230. Did all of you got oh, I don't know. It's 2,000. Joseph. So here we have 70 squared, right?
I'm still kind of getting there. I got 16,000. I got 1,633. 1633. That's what I.
That's what I got too.
Yeah, I got the same thing.
Okay, yes, that's the correct value. So please check what happened to your calculation. And probably you used 10 here. No? No. 0.10 times 1. Okay. So 1633.33 feet. Now calculate the tangent and length of curve. So you can calculate the tangent and the length of curve based on R min.
Oops. 10.
Oh, by the way, regarding the units, I remember at the very beginning of the exam, it says you need to include the units, and the examples are given there too on the introduction of the exam.
Got it. Okay. Thank you.
Professor, I have a question.
Yes.
So when we try to because I got the same thing as Jocelyn got, the 3,000 and 400 and something for the radius value, but I just because I rechecked it again, and so for the super elevation rate, do we just if we were given a percentage, do we enter that percentage as it is? We don't so we enter 10, we don't enter 0.1 instead, right?
If this is given, then you enter 0.01 times 10. If it's in percentage.
Oh, okay, yeah. Because I was putting it into. Yeah, I was putting it like 0.01 times by 0.1. That's what I was doing.
Okay,
But
that's
yeah,
why you got a
yeah,
very
that's
high
probably
value.
why. Yeah.
Oh,
Thank you.
thank you. Thanks, Asma. So next we'll calculate the tangent, right? And that's r tangent delta over 2.
I got 437.6. 437.6.
Okay, thank you. 400. The name is showing up as George, but I know you're not George. So 437.
Yeah, I also got the same thing too.
0.6 feet. 0.6 or 0.7?
0.6.
0.6.
Okay.
Hmm.
And yes, who is talking? Sorry. The last person who said 0.6.
Jocelyn?
Huh?
Jocelyn?
Oh, Jocelyn. Okay, thank you, Jocelyn. Okay, next. L. So how much is L?
Delta.
So we have L is delta pi r over
180.
over 180. Yes. And how much did you get?
855 feet.
855 feet. Okay. So you have the values. So we have T, we have L, and we have R. Now we're asked to lay out the horizontal curve, and you're given the PC is at station 2 plus 2, 2 plus 25. So now you can draw your curve here. It's always a good practice to draw your curve just to make sure that you're representing them correctly. So here you have this one. Says the PC, the point of curvature, right? So 2 plus 25 is here. And now you need to lay it out one by one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, when you're laying out the curve, again, you wanted to lay it out in terms of full station. But however, the first one will not bring you to a full station. So 2 plus 25, what's the first full station here? 3 plus 0, 0, right? So 3 plus 0, 0 is your first full station. So that's your 3 plus 0, 0. Now we need to know this one. The first angle here, delta 1, is what we wanted to find out. So how much is that? So how do we calculate this angle here? So we know that that is just proportioning, just comparing these two curves. So here, delta 1 should be compared to the full curve. So you can calculate the angle. So we know delta 1 is 2 L1. L1 is the length of this curve. Let's just call it L1. Is 2 the length of arc, which is L, right? So we know this is L. Is 2 delta, and delta is this one, 30 degrees. Oops, I made it wrong. I wrote it incorrectly. So here that will be 30 degrees here, right? And this one is, what is L again? And 55.2. Is it 855 or 55.2? 55.2. So now you can calculate this one, this angle. So this angle is equal to how much? What is L? L1. L1 is equal to,
The tangent.
we know this is station, we know that station, so you can calculate the value of L1, and L1 is simply equal to your 3 plus 0, 0 minus 2 plus 25. So we have 300 minus 225, and that will give you 75 feet. So now you can calculate this angle, the initial angle, and that would be equal to how much? Who got the value? Asma?
Yeah, Professor. For this one, I got 2.6.
2.6?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Oh wait, I just redid my count. It's 2.54. Yeah, that's right.
Is that denominator 885.2 or 855.2?
800. Oh, 855. Sorry. Sorry, Asma. 855 is what we have, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
So your initial calculation is correct. 2.63 degrees, right? Yes.
Yes.
So now you already got this. The next would be your D. What is D? Did we get D already or not yet? So the next full station is 4 plus 0, 0, right? What's the last station, by the way? We forgot that one. So the last station is at station what? What's this one? PT. So station PT is station PC plus L. So station PT is station PC. Station PC plus L. So 225 plus L, what is L? 855.2.
It will give you 1080.5
Okay.
and 1080.2. So it would be 10 plus 80.2.
Very good. Yes, 10 plus 80.2. So that is your PT. It's important to establish this so we'll know how many Ds we needed to have, right? So we have 4 plus 0, 0, 5 plus 0, 0, 6 plus 0, 0, 7 plus 0, 0, 8 plus 0, 0, 9 plus 0, 0, 10 plus 0, 0, and so on. So this one is 5 plus 0, 0. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 plus 0, 0. So you can find D. So how much is D? D is equal to there are two ways to solve your D, right? First, you compare D is to 100 because we know that's 100 feet arc is to L over delta. So we know the value of L over delta, so you can solve for D. So L is given 855.2 over 30 degrees. I think I did it wrong. Delta over L. So we know delta, we know L, and we multiply that by 100, and you get how much? So that's one way. And the other way is just using our formula that we established earlier, and that's equal to 5729.6. 0.6 or 0.58 over R. So you should come up with the same value. If not, then there's something wrong with your calculation. So how much did you get? So D is?
I got 3.5.
Yes, exactly. 3.53 degrees. So 3.53 degrees. Thank you, George.
How did you change that delta over L to 5,729 over R?
Okay, this is a equation that we established later, last time. And this is comparing this to a circle. So this to 100 is to 360. 360 is the one circle, right? 360 degrees over 2 by R. So 100 times 360 over 2 pi R, and that will give you 5729.
Okay, yeah, I got it now.
Is it 5.6 or 5.8?
5.8.
5.8, yeah, I made a mistake. Or you can use 0.6. The good thing about using this equation is because at least you have one unknown here. Which is R. So whereas here we have delta is given, but L is based on R, right? So if you made some wrong calculation on L, then everything else will be wrong. But here it's just one, which is R. So you'll get the same result. So now once you have established the D, then the next one will be the last angle here, which is L corresponding to L2. I mean corresponding to, this length. So this is 10 plus 0, 0, and this is 10 plus 80.2. So we need to calculate the value of L2 here. So the last angle is going to be your delta, this one, over L2 is equal to, again, you compare it with your arc. 30 is 855.2. So what's the value of L2 here? We know the L2, and that's equal to, what is L2? So L2 is, yes, 10 plus 80.2 minus 10. So that will give you 80.2. The last station, or the last station, which is the point of tangency, minus the last full station, which is 10 plus 0, 0. So that will give you this value. Last time in my class, like there were like 7 students having the same name all at once. I think they use, you're able to use someone's, you're sharing, right? You're sharing whatever that is, and then you end up with the same name. Same link, I think, or same account. So 80.2 is the length. So here L2 is 80.2. So you can calculate the angle. And that is, how much did you get?
$2.81.
Yes, thank you, George. 2.81 degree. So here we have 2.81 and 2.63. Now, is there any question here? When you sum them up, all of this angle, it will give you 30 degrees. If you don't get 30 degrees, then there's something wrong with your calculation. So here, this angle right here, and this is how you lay out your curve. So from the point of curvature, the surveyor will lay out the curve station by station. And in order to lay that out, what you'll need is the angle, not this angle, but this angle right here, which is equivalent to your alpha 1 over 2 plus d over 2 plus d over 2, and so on. So the total angle here from this point to this one, from the PC to the PT, is equal to delta over 2. Yes. So from the PC tangent to the chord PT is equal to delta over 2. Is there any question on this one? Yes, so 3 things we learned here. This one, the first angle, the D, as well as the last angle. And it's always the first full station, and then you lay it out station by station.
Professor, I have a question.
Yes, Sebastian?
Is D, the angles that are represented by D, is that always going to be 3 segments in the middle?
Here?
Yeah.
No. Not 3 segments, but more than that. It depends, because it's 100 feet arc length, right? So there'll be more. Like this. Is that what your question is?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm just like, how did you know how
many segments?
Was it given how many segments to break it into? Yes,
because we started at 2 plus 25, right? So we started at 2 plus 25, and then we end at 10 plus 80.2. So that's the beginning of the curve. And then we have the 10 plus 80.2, right?
Yeah.
That's the last one. And then we need to break it down into 100 full stations.
Oh,
Meaning a
okay.
station of 100 feet each. So first we go to 3 plus 0, 0, right? 4 plus 0, 0. 5 plus 0, 0. Up to 10 plus 80.
Okay, I understand now.
Uh-huh. So that's why you'll have several segments. Thank you for the question, Sebastian.
But these 100-foot stations are not on the curve, right?
It's on the curve.
It is on the curve.
Yes, should be on the curve, just like what we have here.
Okay, so it's just not a straight line across.
No. Should be on the curve. Should be in here.
Celine, you better be
Now, if
finishing
it's
your
on
work.
the, if you're talking about rail, then it should
Just
be
get it
on
done,
the straight
sister. Get
line.
it done. So you don't.
And then you design a curve off of that.
Voice.
Uh-huh. Yes.
I annoy myself.
What else?
Just so you could avoid hearing me.
Why are you doing that?
Because I'm bored.
Yes, the key is always like so from the first station, from the beginning of the curve, then you go to the first full station, and then you develop the curve from there. I mean, you continue the count until you reach the point of tangency.
I cleaned the dishes.
Now, this one, the offset, is important when you're designing the roadway because the clearance says where you wanted to make sure that the driver would be able to see the roadway. So here clearly. So here we wanted to know the distance M, and that distance is this one right here. Sight line of obstruction, so that
Did you
point.
love your Mimi? Did you love your Mimi? Did you
And
love your Mimi?
I think we already calculated that last time when we, here, that's your middle ordinate. Did we show it here?
Did you love your Mimi? Did you love your Mimi, my love? Yeah, you love your Mimi. Don't
It's
slap.
missing
Did
something.
you love your Mimi? You love your Mimi.
Looks like I'm missing something here. But anyway, I think we showed it last time when we talked about the properties of the curve. So,
Oh, she's giving me so much kisses. Oh, she's so beautiful.
yes, so to determine that M, distance or the middle ordinate, you use R times 1 minus cosine delta over 2. But in this case, you can also use the radius of curve as well as your stopping side distance to calculate your M. And so first, you need to know your stopping side distance. You know how to calculate that. That's your SSD.
Oh, I was getting your.
And then R is the minimum radius of curvature, which is your R minimum. Or the actual R of your curve. So knowing these two information, you'd be able to calculate this area here, which the side of obstruction. Meaning, when you're designing the curve, you need to make sure that there are no obstructions on this area. Because if you're approaching the curve, you should be able to see what's happening ahead of you. Now, so your SSD as well as your R is a very important important design factors, which means throughout the semester we'll always be using those, at least during not throughout the semester, but throughout this lesson, the horizontal and vertical curve. So now let's just take a look at this one. So determine the HSO that a billboard can be placed from the center line of the inside lane of the curve without reducing the required SSD. So you're given E is 2%, and it says that a horizontal curve with a radius of 1,000 feet connects the tangents of a two-lane highway that has a posted speed limit of 40 miles per hour. So whenever it says connect the tangents, what it's saying is something like this. So you're connecting those two
No, don't do that.
curves right
No.
here.
No.
Now, we wanted to know your HSO, meaning you need to calculate for M. So how do we do that? The radius is given.
No, Mia, why you gotta leave me? Why you gotta leave me, Mama? Why you gotta leave me? You know, why you gotta leave me?
Shelly, tú te haces pendeja, huh? When I tell you to do your work, te pones a jugar con Mia. Ponte a hacer tu tarea or your phone's gonna go. Turn off your phone until you finish it.
My phone is off.
Okay.
What do we have here? R times 1 minus cosine. So R
At least for one of the classes.
Times
I'm already
1
finished. I already did 2 classes.
minus
A ver.
cosine 28.65 S over R.
Where is it? This one was brain pop.
So R is given 100 feet or 1,000 feet. So we know R. But we don't know S, so which means we needed to calculate S. So how do you calculate S? S is your SSD. So you can calculate that. So that's the first step.
Yes. He told me to do the cool down. And Thomas says I needed the link. Because I need the link to
Let me see this.
Calm down. Don't hit me. Let me see your paw. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Why are your paws dirty? Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it.
All of these Nearpods and all of those that you can do online, these was because you didn't participate that day. For PE. All of the Nearpods, all of these Desmos, I want you to hop on them and complete them. All of the Desmos and all of the Nearpods, you can complete those without anything else. Let me know if you have any questions on them. All of that, anything that's missing that you can still turn in. Look at this.
So how much did you get?
Gender
for
roles,
S?
part 2, draw it. Like you just gotta draw shit.
300.
That's Shelly. Go finish anything that
300?
you can finish on that's missing.
0.25.
300.25.
Perfect, yeah.
Did everyone get the same value?
Oh, what is G? Where did you get G, or do you have to find G?
G is 0, right? If
Zero?
it's
Oh, G is 0?
that means we assume it's 0.
And we assume the time is 2.5 seconds, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so that will be, I got basically 300, like 299.3.
Yes, it should be 299.3. Yes. So now, knowing these two, then you can just substitute the value here and you can solve for M.
I got 11.18.
Yes, thank you very much. So here, what this means is you need to provide a clearance of around 12 feet here to make sure that the driver will be able to pass through the curve safely. So there won't be any obstruction while he's traveling or she is traveling the roadway. Any questions on that? Oh, here, what we did was we learned, you already learned this from the past, how to calculate the minimum radius of horizontal curve, and then we established the properties of horizontal curve. Especially, you learned how to lay out the curve and, yes, the stations of horizontal curve. So always remember that your beginning station is the point of curvature, the end station is the point of tangency, and the point where the two tangents meet is always your PI. And this is the one that is always given. Most of the time, this is the one that's given. And this is your L. And the C is always this one. C is the straight distance. Most of the time, this is where some people are getting it incorrectly. So L is the length of arc. C is the chord length. Okay, is there any question on this? So again.
Wait, can you go back? Go back up one slide. Thank you.
Yes. Okay. So now, so that's the horizontal curve. You need to know those properties and you need to know how to lay out the curve. So now we'll be talking about the different types of vertical curve and how to design them and how to determine the minimum length of horizontal curve. So here, if you have a curve like this one, then you need to know what the grade is, right? And the length of the this curve, or the length needed to develop the curve. So here, let's just go down one more. There are two types, or there are like several types of vertical curves. There are two main types. One is the crest curve, and the other one is sag curve. So on the crest curve, there's several types, as you can see here. So this is one crest curve wherein you have a positive grade on the first, on the beginning, and then a negative grade. So positive grade meets negative grade. Whereas here, positive grade meets positive grade, and here negative grade meets negative grade. So all of these are considered crest curve. The sag curve, we have negative grade meets a positive grade, negative, negative, or negative, positive. So here, this is your sag curve. So it's important to differentiate the two, because the calculation for determining the length of curve would be based on whether or not it's a crest curve or a sag curve. So these are some of the standards, and we've looked at it early on. The grades, let's take a look at the grades. So for the grades, it's based on the terrain, the type of terrain. So for level terrain to a mountainous terrain, your grade can vary. So for lower speed, you can go as high as 12 miles per hour, whereas for higher speed, for a mountainous terrain, it's only 8 miles per hour. So these are the values from the AASHTO manual. Same thing for urban collectors. The first one is for rural collectors. So this one is for urban collectors. So for urban collectors, you can go as high as 14 miles per hour for low speed, and 9 miles per hour for high speed collector roads. And then for arterials, there are some grade requirements as well. So the curves that we'll design here are what we call equal tangent curves. So the horizontal distance from the center of the curve to the end is the same in both directions. So what that means is the horizontal distance from this point to the end of the curve would be the same. And therefore, when we calculate the length of curve, it's always this horizontal distance. And that will dictate the length of your vertical curve. Now, when I draw this, don't mistake this for a horizontal curve. Horizontal curve would always have a radius. A vertical curve would have only the tangents like this one, and there's no radius drawn here. Now, when you're setting up curves, you may have successive or several curves going together. So this is one crest curve followed by a sag curve, and so on. So here, the important information that you would want is the grade, as well as the elevation at various points along the curve. Do we have time to start the topic? Probably not. So here, the elevation BVC, or the elevation at the beginning of the curve, is equal to the elevation of your point of vertical intersection minus G1 times L over 2. So again, that's how you calculate the BVC, the elevation of the BVC. It's always with respect to L. So here, equal tangents, meaning the center of the curve, which is the point of vertical intersection, should always be at the middle of the curve. So it's always at L over 2. That's your reference point. So that's why you have elevation of PVI minus G1 times L over 2. Similarly, for the end of curve, it's the elevation of the PVI plus G2 times L over 2. Or plus G2 or minus, it depends on whether it's a curve, it's a sag curve or a crest curve. Now, the station of the BBC, again, it's always with respect to your L over 2. So it's station of PVI minus L over 2. Similarly, for this end of curve, it's the station of PVI plus L over 2. So it's a lot simpler compared to the horizontal curve, wherein you need to have several information first before you can determine those stations. We'll continue our discussion on this next on Wednesday. Thank you all. And I'll be here for if you have some questions.
Thank you, Professor.
Thank you, Professor.
Thank you.
Thank you, Professor.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
How's everything coming along? You better not be on Instagram, YouTube, Snapchat, wherever the freak you have on there. Okay, pues, eh? Whether you're on Snapchat or wherever, you have to finish it, so. Mía, ¿tú qué, bro? Mira todo el tirachero que tienes, bro.
Oh, I did this already.
¿Qué tiene mi cosita linda? Mi cosita linda. Go. Huh?
I already did this one.
Yeah. Say, oh. Say, oh. That was funny in the morning. That was good. She was following your the Let's should I brush her hair?
Can I do it again? Can I do it again? You think she'll do it again?
Yeah, stop doing
Do you think she'll do it again? Sister?
Does she have to check her for free?
Hermana. Are you done with school?
No.
How goes the
I have 15 minutes.
Do you think she'll do it again? Do you think she will do it again if I do it? Sister,
Hmm?
do you think she will do it again?
Huh?
Do you think she will do it again?
What?
How?
Oh!
That was funny. She can't do it now. I want her to not happen.
Go! Tell him to shut up. Look, she hates being choked. Look. Choke. Choke me out. Mira, me muerde con ganas. Just to put on the TV. You could do homework with TV on. Yeah, Shay, tell her. Otherwise, I'm fucking bored.
I don't know the heck.
What time is it, Shay?
2:23.
2:23. Oh no. I'm dead.
Just join in and then let them take your attendance and leave.
Hell no. Where's Mia?
You could still see her body, Dumbo.
Where's Mia? Mia's gone. Where's Mia? Uh-oh. Oh, where's Mia? There she is. Silly man. Where's Mia? Uh-oh. She disappeared. Where's Mia? There you are. I wonder what gave you diarrhea, baby. The nasty food, Mom. She went to pee with her toy. She better not piss on her toy.